My name is Chris Thorogood. I'm a botanist and a botanical illustrator, and it's my pleasure today to be giving a mini masterclass in the art of botanical illustration using watercolours. Specifically, I'm going to show you how to cheat with watercolours. What do I mean by cheating? Well, we're going to be using masking fluid, and this is a very special fluid that you lay down early on in the process of a painting, and it preserves whatever colour that you put it on. So if you put it on the white blank paper to begin with, it will preserve that white, and as you build up a consecutive series of colour washes, at the end you can rub off that masking fluid, and there are the little white bits that you've saved, and then you can add the detail later. So let's get cheating.
So you may recall from the previous tutorial that I added some masking fluid to two small areas of the page, and then I added a series of colour washes, and now we're going to return to those areas where I added the masking fluid.
Now in the last video you'll see that I completed a series of washes, and I'm now happy with how that looks, so I'm ready to remove the masking fluid. You can use a pencil eraser to do that, or to be honest you can just use your finger, and you can see it rubs off beautifully. I've smudged a little bit of the paint there, so perhaps be a bit careful, but we can undo that later, so that's not a problem. Okay, so now I want to bring these droplets to life, and I guess the first thing to notice is that the edges are a little bit messy. Unfortunately, that's inevitable when you build up colour washes and use masking fluid, because it's not 100% effective, and it sort of seeps in under the edges and leaves them a bit ragged. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a damp brush, and I'm just going to go round the edges to soften them. You can see I've sort of picked up some of the colour that surrounds the droplet, which is good. Whilst I'm here, I'm just going to wet the whole area that I'm going to paint. Because as you'll know from the previous tutorials, the only way to apply watercolour smoothly is by wetting the page first. Preparation is everything. Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Okay, they're looking a little bit neater. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a finer brush, one that looks a bit like this, and I'm going to go in with a sort of pale reddish colour matching what is behind. It's a bit too wet actually, I'm just going to daub this, because I want this to be a little bit sharper. Yeah, that's better. And notice that I'm going to leave a white edge. A thicker white edge on one side than the other. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring some of that red down to the base of the droplet, which is what it seems to do. It sort of reflects it. And the same on the other side. You don't have to be too precise with where you're putting the colour. It's really about the sort of the effect. I'm kind of making it up here as I go along. The light shines on things myriad different ways, so you can have a bit of license with how you portray that here. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with that sort of duller grey shade that you can see behind here. Connect these two dark strands with something a bit paler. I'd like to soften this a bit. It's a little bit harsh for my liking, so I'm just going to go in there, wet it. There we go, that's a bit nicer. Watercolours aren't great for undoing your mistakes, but if you're quick, you can just about do it. Okay, we're nearly there, but the last thing I would like to do is to add a little bit of shadow. So I'm just going to go with a really fine brush now and just add a little bit of darkness to that one side and a little bit around the base there. And this is an opportunity to neaten up anything that you're not happy with as well. And then we have 2 water droplets on our bract.